Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today let's talk about my January TBR slash hopefuls. I know this is a little bit into the month, but a lot of like end of the year family stuff is wrapping up and now I have more time to myself and not have like distractions. Forgive me for that, but I do have a stack of books here that I'd like to get to at some point this month, and I do think it's definitely doable. I just have to be a bit focused, which is my biggest problem, is focusing while I read. Let's start with series. I did do a 26 series in 2026, and the 3 series that I've chosen for this month are pretty good picks, I think. I am almost done with Keeper of the Lost Cities by Shannon Messenger. This is one of the middle grade series that I wanted to focus on this year. It's a fairly long series, and this is a reread because I only got up to book 3 a handful of years ago and I decided to just start the series over again. We follow a character named Sophie who finds out that she's not quite human and is put into this fantastic world with a lot of whimsy. The magic is actually more science-y explained. Again, it's middle grade, so it's not super in-depth, but it's kind of like a sci-fantasy really. She goes on this really fun journey. There's a school setting. I really enjoy this world because if I remember correctly, it does get bigger and bigger in scope every year or every installment. It has good messaging for the intended audience, which is like 10 to 14. They read really quickly, and yeah, a lot of fun stuff, a lot of cool elements that the author put in. There's like dinosaurs and stuff in here as well. I'm nearly done with this one. Another series that I'd really like to continue this month is Witchshadow. I think this is the 4th book, technically the 5th because there's like a 2.5. This is a YA series with like political intrigue, a big cast of characters with their own POV. The best way that I describe this series, because sometimes there's like a lot of elements going on, the best way that I describe the series is that it starts off because a alliance between countries was put into place 20 years ago, and that alliance treaty is now running out of time, and some people want that alliance to hold and some people don't. And again, political intrigue, drama. The magic in this world is really cool as well, which is a big motivation for me to continue. I think I had mentioned that the previous book, Blood Witch, wasn't my favorite. It kind of strayed away from some of the elements that I liked in the series. In particular, there's 2 female main characters that are so close. They're basically like sisters, and I really like seeing their perspectives. But hopefully this gets back into it. I think it will, and I can probably continue on with the series and finish it up. I believe the last book came out recently or will come out soon. And I do have an adult series for this month, and that is Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb. This is the 2nd book in the Farseer trilogy. I read the 1st book, I want to say August or September, and I really enjoyed it. I really like the slow pacing of it, and I personally had a good time seeing the world through Fitz's eyes. I know not a lot of people seem to like his character. I still don't know why. I enjoy it. But we follow Fitz, who's a bastard, and he is kind of trained to become an assassin. If you're a fantasy reader, you know at least of Robin Hobb, so I don't really have to go too much into detail, and also I don't know how much detail I could give that would be a good summary. But I'm really excited to get back into this one. I usually don't talk about vlogging projects while they're still in progress, but I guess it's kind of a sneak peek. But I am hoping to do a vlogging project with library books. I love supporting my local library, and I think we should just keep continuing to encourage people to use their local library. So I do have a stack of library books here. I have The Lion Women of Tehran by Marjan Kamali. This is about 2 women who grow up in Iran. They're of different socioeconomic classes, I believe, and it also focuses on their relationship as it maybe grows or comes apart while Iran is going through many political changes between the 50s and the 80s, I want to say. I also picked up Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. I would like to be a bit more well-read, and I know what is well-read is so subjective, but I feel like this is an author that I should at least try once in my life, and this is the book that's been the most intriguing to me. I don't know much about it. I feel like there's a plot twist because of the way people are so intentionally vague about this book, but I hope I really enjoy it. Obviously, I want to enjoy all the books here. I also picked up The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sango Mandanna. This is supposed to be cozy fantasy with maybe some romantic elements. A lot of people seem to really enjoy this. I'm picky about cozy, so we'll see how much I like it. I believe we follow a witch who's been mostly on her own her whole life, and then she gets the opportunity to teach 3 younger witches about magic. I'm hoping there's going to be found family elements and like really cutesy, unique characters. I also picked up Stag Dance by Torrey Peters. I've heard fantastic things about this author. They're really well known for Detransition Baby, which I haven't read, but this is supposed to be a collection of short stories and one novel surrounding gender or specifically transness. I don't know the summaries of all the stories comprised in this book, but I hope I really enjoy it. It's one of those authors who's I'm intrigued of because of their writing. I picked up Monstrilio as well by Gerardo Samano Cordova. This is a horror novel. I believe it's set in Mexico, specifically Mexico City, I want to say, and we follow a woman after her son has passed away, and I believe she takes part of his body, like a kidney or something, and nurtures it until it grows back into the figure of her son. But I don't think that's really going to be her son. I think something monstrous is going to happen. I did pick up one ebook from my library, and that is Ocean's Godori by Elainee. I think it's Yu Cho. I think this is South Korean inspired sci-fi. I don't know all the details of this, and I really don't want to, but it sounds really fun. I've only really heard one person speak about this, and I really liked how they talked about it, so I picked it up from my library. I would really like to read more sci-fi this year. It's not on my official goals for 2026, but I have noticed that I don't pick up sci-fi as much as I thought I did. Hopefully this will be a good start to the year. And as always, I do try to fit in a nonfiction and a classic every month. This is something that I started working towards last year. I do have Blitzed, Drugs in the Third Reich by Norman Ohler. This sounded really interesting to me when I first heard about it. It is supposed to revolve around copious amounts of methamphetamines, cocaines, drugs that were used by Adolf Hitler and, you know, the Third Reich. Maybe how that contributed to his fascism. I haven't started it, but it's an interesting topic, and that's really what motivates me to pick up nonfiction as someone who hasn't been a very good nonfiction reader for the past like 10 years. For the classic of the month, I'm hoping to get to Emma by Jane Austen. This is one that's technically been on my currently reading shelf for a while, but I think I should just reread it. I only really got up to like 11 pages, nothing, well, technically 20. I only really got up to 20 pages before I put it down. I wasn't really in the mood for it at the time, but I'm finding out that my mood is not super reliable, so sometimes I'm just gonna have to like start a book even if I don't feel like I'm in a mood for it. I've said this before, but I've heard that if I really liked the humor in Pride and Prejudice, to go for Emma next, so that's my thinking with this. And Emma follows a character who's, I think, committed to being a spinster for the rest of her life, but she really likes playing matchmaker, and I'm sure that's gonna blow up in her face because duh. One of my reading goals for 2026 was to pick up more fantasy sci-fi subscriptions. I don't know if I said this here or on TikTok, but I did start reading Uncanny magazine, volume 67, I think it was. I don't think I'll power through some of these publications unless I'm like really in the mood for it. I feel like I'd only really pick up like a short story or something in between books or when I have a little bit of time. So I think that's worth mentioning, but it's not like an official, I hope to finish this by the end of the month. If anything, this particular goal was to just kind of try more authors through these short story mediums. So I just thought I'd throw that out there, that it's technically on the TBR, but it's not like officially like I need to finish this by the end of the month. That's everything that I'm hoping to get to this month. I think it's super doable. I am almost done with one of these books after all. What is on your January TBR or hopefuls? Have you read any of these books? Are you interested in reading any of these books? I would love to hear anything you have to say down below. I will also link my social medias down below, as well as some far more important links. Feel free to like, dislike, comment, or subscribe, or do neither. It's all cool with me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.